Alright, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome, my friends. It is time. It is time. How's everyone doing? Welcome, my friends. Today is Friday, June 29th, 2018. I am Darkside Phil. Today is a momentous occasion for many reasons. The first being that it is the final gameplay day for me of the month of June. Tomorrow is my day off, so which means today is the final day of the month where I will be presenting to you a fun gameplay stream. And before we even get started with today's festivities, what I would like to tell you guys is thank you wholeheartedly very, very much. This month has been one of the most successful, if not the most successful, in a while. In fact, I believe, I won't be able to 100% solidify this statement until today ends, but it looks like June was the best month for me in the year of 2018, both on YouTube and on Twitch. And I know I said the same thing last month, but this month in particular, things, saw a big increase. You guys were very supportive. You watched the videos, you watched the streams, you participated, you helped me out. You were really awesome. And I just want to say thank you for that. Earlier this month, we were up to over 510 subs, which was crazy. The amount of subscriptions that we had gotten in a short period of time. Really awesome, the amount of support that we saw this month, okay? So, that being said, thank you guys very, 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 very much for your support. And the best month of the year so far is excellent, right? We're going to end it on a strong note. Because next week, we are going to be beginning all new stuff. All new stuff. New playthroughs, new games. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a way to refresh all of my content for the summer, okay? It's not going to be the same old ongoing playthroughs. We're going to have all fresh stuff for you starting next week. But what a perfect way to end the month than with a special event. And this event in particular, guys, is pretty much one that I've been anticipating for months. I've been hyping it for months. You guys have been waiting for it for months. Something completely different. Something I've never done before. Okay? And I'm very excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for what you guys are about to see today, too. Okay? So that being said, my friends, today is the day of the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Master Run Challenge. And you might say, what is that? Let's get down to brass tacks, my friends. Over the course of 25 or more years, I've been playing Street Fighter. In fact, I played Street Fighter 2 in arcades when it released, which I believe was 1991. Or 92, I believe it was 91, though. And I've been playing Street Fighter ever since. Various different levels of my lifetime. There was one time when every week, on the weekend, I would go to the local arcade, and I would play against human opponents, way before there was ever online play or even console versions of these games. Later on in the 90s, early 2000s, I became a tournament competitor in games such as Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. And then in about the mid-2000s, I became really serious about playing a game called Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Ended up becoming a tournament ranker and winner. Some pretty hefty placings under my belt. And the rest is history. Now today, I do still cover all of the new fighting games, but I don't play them on a competitive level anymore. And, that's okay. There was an era of my life when I was younger, when I enjoyed the travel, I enjoyed meeting all the people, I enjoyed the grind. I don't really like that anymore. Now, as you guys know, I'm a variety streamer. I play a wide variety of games on a daily basis, and I enjoy doing that for you. And being a competitive Street Fighter player would not be viable in today's modern world, where it would basically mean me dropping everything that I do and I have fun with here on stream in order to practice so much. I just don't want to do that, okay? So, that being said, special event today that, number one, was made possible by those who subscribe to this channel right here on Twitch. So again, I want to say thank you for your overwhelming support. It was just a couple months ago that we had a subscriber goal for this to happen. We hit the subscriber goal. And that's one of the primary reasons that we're doing this special event, okay? How does this event work, and what does it entail? Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, recently, about a month ago, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection was released. And I've played this collection quite a bit. The various games in the collection I've played online. I also went through all of the arcade modes of these games on standard difficulty to kind of give you a tour of the Street Fighter world, explain to you the differences between the games, and give you some lore and history in my History of Street Fighter series that I did earlier this month. So, for all intents and purposes, I've covered this collection quite extensively. However, what we're doing today is something completely different. Okay? Completely different. Today, I'm going through the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, starting with the original Street Fighter 2, the first competitive fighting game ever, all the way through, if I can get to the end, which the final game in the collection is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and I'm going to be attempting to beat the arcade modes of these games on the hardest difficulty setting in a marathon setting. Okay? First of all, I've never done anything like this before, ever. Never have I done a challenge run. Most of my content is just kind of raw gameplay. You know, it's not anything that should show off my skill level or anything like that. It's just me playing through the standard games, right? So just doing something that's a premise of a challenge based on a difficulty factor is something very different for me and outside of my normal comfort zone, okay? That's number one. Number two, the fact that if you're not aware, because many of you probably never really played these games back in the day in arcades, the arcade mode slash story modes of these games, when set to the highest difficulty, are incredibly cheap. Incredibly. As in, number one, the game breaks its own rules in order to win. So, for example, there are characters in Street Fighter called charge characters, where you have to hold a certain direction for a certain amount of seconds, then push another direction plus a button in order to get a special move to come out. One of the classic characters in Street Fighter that's a charge character is Guile. He has a sonic boom, and he has a flash kick. When you play against the computer at the hardest difficulty level in these games, the computer doesn't have to charge anymore. It could literally walk forward and then do a flash kick instantly. It's completely broken and unfair. And it's just ludicrous that they programmed the games like that, but they did. Number two, the games will actually change moves properties in order to completely screw you over. And an example of this is that there's a character called DJ. He's actually one of my favorite characters in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and the character that I can basically do really well with in tournament play, okay? DJ has a move where if you charge down, then press up plus punch, alright, he does a rapid fist, he wiggles his fist, and does a couple hits. It only hits if you're extremely close, it hits for 2 to 3 hits, and it does okay damage. Literally, it's pretty useless unless you're going to do a certain kind of combo, which isn't actually guaranteed against certain characters due to their height. So I actually never use the move. It's one of DJ's moves I never use. When you're playing against the computer at the highest difficulty, the computer changes the properties of the move to become an invincible multi-hit move that hits you 3 to 4 times, which it normally will not do in the real game, and it takes about 80% of your health away. And that's not me exaggerating or you know, trying to make it sound worse than it is. This game literally cheats and changes the properties of moves to do insano damage to screw you over, okay? And then on top of all of that, you can't really play against the computer in the Street Fighter arcade games like a normal human. What I mean by that is if you're playing a normal human, alright, I'm going to throw a fireball, alright? Well, that human doesn't know you're going to throw a fireball. That human actually has to see the fireball appear on the screen before they can react to it. When you're playing against the computer reads your button inputs. So it'll know what you're doing because it sees your input and will do the move. So, for example, oh, I throw a fireball, the computer's already jumping. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, the computer will literally cheat. So the arcade modes in these games, okay, are incredibly difficult. Alright? Incredibly difficult. And the fact here is that it's going to be very grueling today. Not only, if I were just to play through these arcade modes on the hardest difficulty one by one, you know, over a course of time, that would have been something that, you know, would have been difficult. I'm doing this all in one session today, alright? Starting off, you know, when I start off by you know, 11:30, or whenever I actually begin the stream, and going on till 7 or later, okay? So we're guaranteed to play till at least 7 p.m., but I may play even later, alright? My goal by the end of today's stream is to conquer the arcade mode of every one of these games. So how many games are there? Well, you got the original Street Fighter 2 called World Warrior. Then you've got the expansion sequel called Champion Edition. Then the third version is called Hyper Fighting. This is the one that changed a ton of move properties, added new special moves, and also sped the game up significantly. Then you've got Super Street Fighter 2, the new challengers, which added the 4 new characters. And then we've got Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the culmination and final version of all the original Street Fighter 2 games. So that's 5 games right there, okay? And typically to beat the arcade modes of these would take roughly about 20 minutes to a half hour. Being that I'm probably going to lose a ton, I would say some of them are going to take longer than that, okay? But we'll see. You know, I'll be trying significantly hard to try to win. We'll see how it goes. Then, if I do happen to beat all 5 of the Street Fighter 2 games, I'm going to move on to the Alpha series. So we start with Street Fighter Alpha 1. This is the game that introduced chain combos, multiple level super moves, alpha counters, air blocking, and an anime-style art style. Okay. Then, if I beat that, we'll move on to Street Fighter Alpha 2. This is the game that introduced custom combos. Okay. And then if I defeat that, Street Fighter Alpha 3, the game that actually introduced different classes or isms and variations on many different characters in the game. Okay. Now, if I conquer all of that, which quite frankly, guys, I don't know if I'm going to. If I conquer all of those games at the hardest difficulty, then I'm going to move on to Street Fighter 3, okay? Street Fighter 3, which is a series that, against the computer can be very daunting, especially the final boss, Gil, is incredibly broken in the Street Fighter 3 series. So this is going to be very interesting. So you got original Street Fighter 3, Fight for the Future. Then we got Street Fighter 3 Second Impact, Giant Attack. And then Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Will I beat all these games? I have no idea. Seriously. I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen. This could be I coast through them. It could be I get stuck on 1 or 2. It could be, I don't know. It could be incredibly difficult. All right. So we'll see. You know, together, guys, we'll see how this goes. Today, it's, again, the very first time I've ever done any kind of a challenge run like this. It should be pretty special. And, I certainly hope that you guys will enjoy the event. Now, I will be taking breaks, okay? I mean, since this is a marathon event, yes, I'm going to be taking breaks probably every couple of hours of gameplay. So, you know, potentially you're going to see 2, 3, maybe even 4 breaks. And I am going to be taking snacks because I'm not eating all day. I haven't even had anything to eat today. I know I probably should have had a breakfast, huh? I wasn't very smart about that. And so, I'm going to have to take breaks. I already got some snacks. I got some trail mix. I got some tortilla chips with salsa. I got some, like, other things like bread, muffins, you know, things I can snack on during the day to keep my energy up. I'm drinking a Kickstart energy drink, and I have another one if I need it. I've got some iced tea. I got some coffee, you know, whatever I need today to keep me going in this Street Fighter Master Run Challenge I'm going to have, all right? So, this is definitely going to be interesting, okay? I don't know how things are going to go, all right? We'll see together firsthand. My very first challenge run event, all right? Now, here's the thing. If people enjoy today's event, if attendance is good, if people participate and really enjoy the event, I would definitely consider doing other challenge runs events in the future. In fact, I already kind of have an idea for 1 or 2 of them, but I'm purposely not doing them yet because I want to see how this one goes. If this event goes well, people, you say, wow, this is a good thing, something different you did, Phil, we really enjoyed it, then potentially you can expect to see more challenge runs events coming up in the future. All right. But if I do this event and people say they're bored and no one shows up and ultimately people are like, we wish you did something else, well, then that's fine. You know, we gave it a shot, gave it the old college try, wanted to do something different. People are always telling me to do different stuff, innovate and try different stuff, so I'm trying something different. And if that's the case, that's the case, I guess. Okay? I guess we'll see. You know, we'll see how this goes today and base it directly off of, you know, your responses, okay? Fair enough? All right, then. All right, guys. So, there you go. Now, let's talk a little bit because, as I said, we are at the end of June. And it's your last chance for a few different things. And I also want to explain how the stream's going to go down with contributions, with shout-outs and the like, so you guys know what to expect during the course of today's marathon event. All right, so first of all, this is the end of June, my friends. And you guys, as I said, have been very supportive this month. It's pretty much, it's almost a lock that this is the best month of the year for me. Thank you very much for that. And I am looking forward to next week where we start all new content and hopefully things get refreshed for the summer and you guys will stick around, right? You guys will stick around for all the upcoming events and things that I'll be doing. That being said, there are ways, besides just watching the stream, and besides just watching the videos on YouTube, my DSPGaming channel where I archive all of this gameplay footage on a daily basis, that you can support my efforts to keep doing this full time, and bringing you fun, entertaining, free streams on a daily basis, all right? The first, which I hope you will check out, is my Patreon over at patreon.com/darksidephil. Ladies and gentlemen, there's only 1 day left for you to contribute to my Patreon for the month of June. And why is it important? Because guess what? If you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon today or tomorrow, the final 2 days to do it, you will be able to nominate and vote on games for an upcoming Rageathon Marathon. All right, excuse me. Rageathon Marathon. And you might say, well, what is that? Well, it's an event where people are purposely going to pick games that are going to cause me frustration during the marathon. This marathon will take place in August. Over the month of July, people who pledge to my Patreon this month will be nominating and voting on games for it. It could be any game. It could be a platformer, a puzzle game, an action game, a fighting game, a sandbox game. You know, anything is eligible as long as it is a readily available and easy to play game. It's not a game that costs like $100 to play or something like that, and a game that's easily capturable, okay? So, just think about that. $5, pledge to my Patreon. You're able to nominate and vote on games that hundreds of people will probably watch during the live stream and thousands of people will watch during the event on YouTube on on-demand videos. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of power, my friends. So, I urge you to check it out over at patreon.com/darksidephil. Of course, what I'm mentioning is not the only thing you get for pledging. You can get many other different perks and rewards for pledging to my Patreon. And it is much appreciated if you do pledge today. It is one awesome way. If you're liking this stream, wow, this is something special Phil did. I want to be part of another event he's doing. That's the way you can do it, all right? Concretely, it helps me out when you pledge, so please consider pledging, and thank you to everyone who has, all right? Okay, another thing you can do, you can check out my Teespring store over at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. In particular, there's a lot of fun logos, designs, and merchandise over there, designed by my viewers and fans that all pertain to my streams and my gameplay content. In particular, in perchance, in relation to today's stream, okay? You've got the I'm Pressing Buttons shirt, which is a shirt that shows different directional button inputs and joystick inputs, you know, fighting game related. So, pretty cool, and I hope that you guys will give my Teespring store a look. Anything you buy from my Teespring store, I get a commission from, and it definitely helps me out. Okay? So, that being said, my friends, give it a look. Last but certainly not least, let's talk, guys. Let's talk about, let us talk about the actual stream itself and what can happen, what could go down today. Now, as you know, I'm going to be very busy taking on the arcade modes of these games. However, you know, between the rounds, between the matches, when I'm on the character select screen, you know, stuff like that, I'm going to be giving you guys shout-outs for your contributions. So if you cheer, sub, or tip during the course of today's stream, at any point during the marathon, I'm going to give you a shout-out, all right, for your contribution. Now, there's a couple small guidelines that I'd like you to abide by if you're looking to get a shout-out on the stream. Allow me to elaborate on those. The first is, please be as short-worded and concise as possible. The shorter you say something, or the more brief you are, the stronger chance is I'm going to give you a shout-out on the stream. If you cheer with a ginormous paragraph, I'm probably not going to derail the entirety of the stream. You know, there's what? Couple seconds to minutes of free time between matches and rounds and stuff in the games. I'm not going to sit here for 5-10 minutes to read your message and you know, give you an essay question answer. See what I mean? But little shout-outs are much appreciated. Now, also, please be positive. Please don't derail the stream. please don't be toxic and bring negativity in. And what I mean by that is, please don't bring up dramatic topics like religion or politics that people always argue about and can't get along about and are just going to be nasty and derail the stream. Please don't bring in negativity about other people. Oh, this person said this about Phil. This person did it. This just happened yesterday. People coming into the stream, this guy said something about Phil, and someone got timed out. Because it's against the rules to do that, all right? We're here to have fun, have a positive stream, and enjoy ourselves. Not to hear about negativity and stupid shit that other people are being dramatic somewhere else. I don't care about that crap, all right? The toxicity and drama can sit in its own circles outside of this stream. I have far more important things to focus on than worrying about what other, jerks are doing, okay? So please don't bring that stuff into this stream, all right? Not a good place for it. So in general, as long as you stay positive, as long as you're short-winded in your messages, everything's going to be fine. Usually my streams are very, very entertaining in that regard. I'd say probably about 95% of people get it. You're always going to get a few people who maybe aren't regulars, they're newcomers, or some people who purposely are coming in trying to stir the shit, as they say. Nothing you can do about that. But in general, the streams are entertaining, and I want to say thank you guys for your support, okay? Now, ladies and gents, okay? In addition to all of that, maybe you'd like to go the next step. Maybe you'd like to see a fun visual animation play during the course of today's stream, okay? If that's the case, then you can do that. How do you do that? Well, you need to either cheer 50 bits or more in one go, one cheer, or if you subscribe to my channel and you wait a few minutes and you see a share button appear, if you click on that share button, or if you tip me $5 or more in one single tip, then you'll see a fun thank you animation play on the stream, okay? And it's cool because not only will it show your message, but obviously you're getting visual, and then you're going to get the verbal shout out as well, recognition. Really nice, okay? So thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. All of your contributions, any support you lend today is much appreciated. Two more quick things, and then I'm going to get to shout-outs for people who have already cheered, subbed, and tipped on the stream. First of all, as you guys can see, there is a Stream Stats leaderboard on the stream. That's going to be there all day long during this marathon. So if you're the top cheerer or the top tipper today, you will get up there on the leaderboard, all right? Now, the way it works is basically whoever's the current top person. So let's say someone cheers, I don't know, 50 bits. They're the top cheerer. Then someone else cheers 50 bits. Well, the person who's second will trump the first person, okay? So that way we get a variety of people there on the leaderboard. There's not going to be ties. Reason being, I used to put ties on there, and what ended up happening is the entire thing, oh, a four-way tie. And now my whole stream would be this giant bar of names, and it would be very distracting. And, quite frankly, it's too much. It takes too much away from the stream. So it's just going to be the current top person, all right? But the best way, obviously, to ensure your name gets up there is to actually trump or top the top cheer or top tip, all right? Now, in addition to that, my friends, as you can see, there is a current sub count up there. 457, pretty respectable. I thank you guys very much for your support. Today, in particular, my friends, is a great day to subscribe to the channel. And you might say, well, why? Why is today a great day to subscribe? Two reasons. First of all, because we're at the end of the month, and very shortly, in fact, when I return on Sunday from my day off tomorrow, I'm going to announce the new monthly sub goal. And the new monthly sub goal, I believe, is something you guys are really going to enjoy. It's going to be another kind of special event that I've never done before. And it's going to be something to help celebrate my 10-year anniversary as a content creator for the internet. Okay? I think you guys are going to love it. That being said, all right, if you sub today, it will count towards that goal. All right? It will. Number two, if you subscribe to the channel today during the marathon, number one, you're going to get access to all of the new emotes. What new emotes, you might say? Well, how about the DSP Ryu emote? How about the Hadouken hand motion emote? How about the new Fireball emote? All these emotes that are in line with today's stream, right? You're going to want to use those during the course of today's stream, all right, when I'm playing all these fighting games that utilize these things. In addition, if you become a Tier 2 subscriber, you get access to the Evil Ryu emote. And if you become a Tier 3 subscriber, you get access to the Akuma emote. And you know what? Not a lot of people have seen the Akuma emote. So I actually want to show you guys. Here it is. I just put it into the stream chat so you guys can see it. Very fun, very different. And by the way, if you do subscribe to the channel today, you get access to these emotes all the time. You know, this weekend is CEO, the big fighting game tournament. If you like fighting games, you can go over to their streams and you can use these emotes there too. Pretty damn cool, right? A lot of people like using these in other streams because you can tie it in with other people's emotes too. People throwing fireballs at other streamers and stuff. It's pretty fun, okay? So, please consider subscribing. In addition to all of that, all right, you will not have to watch advertisements on my stream if you subscribe. And in particular today, as I said, since this is a marathon setting, probably once every hour to 2 hours, I'll be taking a break. There are going to be a handful of breaks during the course of today's stream for me to get snacks, for me to use the restroom, to rejuvenate myself, maybe to get a new drink, etc. So, you won't have to watch any advertisements during those breaks if you subscribe to the channel today, okay? And of course, for those who really do want to support in a big way, you'll see that there's a chat crown that you earn for becoming a subscriber to the channel. All right, and this chat crown changes color. It starts off as bronze, then it turns silver after 3 months of support, gold after 6, and then it gets rubies encrusted on it after a year. All right, so pretty nice. All these are the benefits: emotes, no ads, a cool chat crown, loyalty badge, a lot of fun stuff you get for becoming a subscriber. Today's a great day to sub and get all of these benefits. All right, okay. And then last but not least, my friends, I've mentioned tipping, and you might wonder, how do I tip? Because I already know how to cheer or sub. That's all through Twitch, but, you know, Phil mentioned tipping. How do you do that? Very quickly, 2 ways to do it. Either if you look below the stream, there's a button that says Tips Jar. If you click on that Tip Jar button, it'll take you to my PayPal tips page where you can tip me via PayPal either anonymously, or you can leave your name in a message if you want to get a shout out. Or if you don't see it, what I just described, because maybe you don't. That's probably because you're on a mobile version of the site, and on a mobile version of the site, you cannot see that button, which is cool. That's fine. Instead, if you just type !tip into the stream chat, our moderation bot, Nightbot, will post up the link. You click on that link, and boom, takes you right to the tips page. Okay? All right, I got through all the plugs. The last thing I want to do before we get to shoutouts is very quickly talk to you guys about this next coming week. This next coming week is going to be great, my friends. Starting on Sunday, I'm beginning my Simpsons Hit and Run playthrough. This is a game that people have asked me to play for a long time, and I'm finally getting around to playing it this Sunday, thanks to your support. It was actually you guys subbing to the channel, and then it was the patrons who nominated and voted on games who got this game up nominated, and it's going to be a playthrough starting this Sunday. In addition, this week, I'm probably going to be continuing on with some Fighting EX Layer gameplay coverage. I'm going to be finishing up Half-Life 2 this week. Also starting up this week, Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, which is releasing on modern consoles this week. This is a game playthrough that I did back in 2009. It was one of my first game playthroughs ever, and it actually was my first official Hateful Truth game review that I ever did. So I'm going to go back full circle, you know, 9 years ago and replay a game that was at the very beginning of my career run here on YouTube. Pretty awesome, right? And then later in the week, I'm going to be returning to Persona 5. Because that's a game that last year I absolutely loved. I played the hell out of it, 80 hours in, and then Alice hits me with bullshit copyright strikes, which I contacted them and said, what gives? They cleared them up, but the fact was that I couldn't risk having DSPGaming getting into trouble over false copyright strikes. So I got the whole issue fixed, but I suspended the playthrough and said, sorry guys, you know, for now I'm just going to lay off. Here we are a year later. Most people who wanted to play Persona 5 already have and finished it. It seems like the copyright issue is not an issue anymore. So I'm going to go back to Persona 5 this week, okay? So, what a week coming up. Simpsons Hit and Run, the conclusion of Half-Life 2, a little bit more Fighting EX Layer, Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, and Persona 5. That's one hell of a crazy fun variety week to start off the summer. I'm starting it off right with new content. I hope you guys are excited, and we'll come check out my streams the rest of this week. Okay, well, next week, I should say, I guess. Okay? All right. Now, my friends, let's begin with shoutouts. I'm sure many of you have been waiting for the shoutout segment. Let's get to it. Let me scroll down here. First of all, I want to give special thanks to the people who come by when I'm not even live streaming. Yes, there is a group of people. It's not always the same people, but it is a very nice and generous group of people who love what I do, who love the streams, love the content, and when I'm not even here, they come by overnight and they cheer, sub, and tip. And I want to give them credit where credit is due. In particular, overnight tonight, it was actually Infinite55 who did a 100-bit cheer when I was not here. Thank you, Infinite, for that very much. I appreciate it. All right, now, let's get to shout-outs for this particular stream. People who contributed while I was live already today. We start off with Catastrophe, who subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Catastrophe, for the sub. I appreciate that very much, your support. And by the way, Catastrophe subscribed with Twitch Prime. And in particular, I want to say something very briefly about Twitch Prime today that was pointed out by a viewer of mine. This viewer actually wrote me a nice email and said, Phil, there's something I think that you guys should... Well, that you in particular should bring up on your pre-streams. You know, what the heck is he talking about? He's like, I personally love your content, and I watch your streams all the time, and I'm a subscriber of yours with Twitch Prime. But if you subscribe to anyone with Twitch Prime on Twitch, okay, it doesn't auto-renew. If you don't use Twitch Prime, if you're actually paying for the subscription, say with a credit card or whatever, it auto-renews every month. But it doesn't do that with Twitch Prime. You have to manually resub. And he admitted, he's in the email, he's like, I personally love your stuff, and I would have given you Twitch Prime sub every month. I haven't done it for 3 months because I kept forgetting. I just didn't remember that you have to resub. I'm not someone who actually chats in the stream chat during your streams, but I still watch them and I enjoy them. And I come to realize, holy crap, I haven't subbed to Phil in 3 months, and I lost my loyalty crown. You know how you get the loyalty crown that I mentioned, the bronze, silver, gold crown. And he was very disappointed that he had lost that. And he's like, you know, you should, on your pre-streams, bring up that if you don't resub, you definitely should manually resub. You know, give a heads up to your viewing audience so they know that. So there you go, guys. If you are a Twitch Prime subscriber, to me or anyone, I mean, this is just a kind of a public service announcement for everyone. It doesn't auto-renew. You have to, every single month, you have to manually redo it, or else it doesn't continue up, okay? So, consider, you know, obviously subscribing to my channel today, and if you do, thank you, but if you are a Twitch Prime sub, you will have to manually resub every month, okay? Alright. Catastrophe even said, in the stream chat, she says, you know, I may even want to make a Nightbot command. You're right, that might be a good idea, to do a Twitch Prime command for Nightbot, so that we can put, every once in a while someone types in, you know, I don't know, exclamation point Prime, and then boom, Nightbot will say, oh, you can use your Twitch Prime to sub, and you got to resub every month or something like that. Good idea. Good idea. Okay, let's continue, my friends. So first of all, the first cheer for today was from Save the Pig the Game, who says, any thoughts on bringing back DSP Tries It? With so many new food options opening up nationwide, I feel it would be good to consider. No, quite frankly, I'm not considering bringing back DSP Tries It anytime soon. Allow me to explain. DSP Tries It was a series that I did for quite a long time. I started it way back when, in around 2009, I believe. And this was a time when I was looking to diversify my content, because my gameplay content was huge, but people were asking for more. People wanted to see more from me. They wanted to see more of me. They wanted to learn more about me. They wanted to hear more of my opinions, okay? And at the time, I made a vlogging channel called The King of Hate HD, where I basically just put out random-ass videos. Sometimes it was a game review. Sometimes it was a vlog of a trip, and in particular, DSP Tries It was a series where I would try out various items, and in particular, usually it was fast food, sometimes it was something else, but in general, it was usually fast food, alright? This series continued from 2009 all the way through earlier this year, and then I basically put the series on hiatus, and people were like, well, why? This is an ongoing series we loved. Well, there's two primary reasons, my friends. The first is because YouTube isn't like it used to be anymore. Real talk. YouTube has changed dramatically. Okay? I used to be in a situation where I would make a DSP Tries It, and let's say within a week, it would get 5,000 to 10,000 views. That video would make me like 20, 30 bucks, and it would pay for the meal. Like, it would pay for the actual meal that I got in the video, and maybe even make me some spare money. Okay? Now, when I go to do DSP Tries It, 5,000 to 10,000 views, I make like $2. And I'm not even, that's not an exaggeration. That's how bad YouTube ad revenue has plummeted in recent years. It's just that bad. So, me making these videos literally doesn't even cover the cost of buying the fast food item I'm reviewing in the video anymore. Effectively making it a moot series. Like, what's the point of the series then besides fan service, right? So, just in general, the viability, the series can't even sustain itself anymore, alright? It can't. It can't even sustain itself anymore. So that's number one. Number two, ever since my girlfriend Kat moved in with me a few months ago, it was actually early February, so actually it's damn, March, April, May, June, damn, it's been almost 5 months. Holy shit. Time flies, man. Seriously, holy crap. 5 months, it doesn't seem like 5 months, but anyway, my lifestyle and in particular, my eating habits have changed in a big way, all right? Kat, when she cooks, which she cooks about half the time during the week, and I cook the other half of the time, makes pretty healthy meals. Okay, yesterday she made us a shrimp dish with shrimp, broccoli, sesame seeds, garlic, some sweet chili sauce, some rice. It was a very healthy meal, very low fat, you know, tasty, high protein, low calories. Everything was super healthy. And when she cooks in general, she tries to make a variety of foods that aren't high calorie, high fat, you know, which is basically everything fast food is. And since she's moved in and now we do this sharing of responsibilities of cooking, the other half of the time I try to make stuff that's healthy. So for example, I'll make turkey burgers or chicken sausages, right? And I look, you know, low fat, you know, everything's good. So in general, I don't really eat out anymore when it comes to food. And even when I do, I just run out and I grab something quick. It's not like it used to be where once a week I purposely went out and ate fast food and I saw out, oh gee, here's the newest fast food craze, you know, the naked chicken chalupa from Taco Bell or the double down from KFC. And here I am eating this unhealthy crap on camera to make a few bucks for YouTube. It's not like that anymore, okay? And quite frankly, I like it now the way it is, because the way it used to be is those days when I filmed DSP Try It, I would have no time. It'd be like, okay, I finished the stream, gotta run out, gotta buy food, gotta come home, gotta film, gotta wolf down my food so I can get back to stream. And because of that constant pressure, I gotta film, gotta upload, gotta film, basically took away from a lot of the personal time that I used to have to do stuff. Now, if and when I do go out to eat with Kat, it's more of a personal thing. We're not rushed. We can get whatever the hell we want with no constraints on, oh, we gotta try this menu item that sounds disgusting, and probably is. And I'm not saying that I never try new stuff either. If there is a new menu item that sounds appetizing to me, I'll try it. But let me tell you, it's so much more enjoyable to just eat and not have to worry about always needing a camera, you know, recording or in my face. It's just so different. And keep in mind, this is something I did for 9 years, all right? And I made hundreds of episodes of DSP Tries It. But at this point, I really don't foresee this, you know, continuing. I just don't. I don't see the viability. Number one, it's not viable because YouTube ad revenues plummeted so bad, there's no point in doing it. I don't make money doing it. I lose money on the series. And number two, I just want to relax. I just want to relax and eat and not eat fast food all the fucking time. I've actually lost probably between 5 and 10 pounds since Kat moved in. And I want to keep it that way. I'm like, oh, DSP Tries It's back. Now every week I'm eating disgusting fast food again. No, I don't want to do that. You know? So that's the situation I'm in. And I really just don't want to bring it back. Will I eventually? Maybe. Maybe there'll be a reason to. Maybe there will finally be an item that I really want to try in a review setting. Something that sounds so weird or so, you know. But in general, I've just been looking, for example, Taco Bell brought back the naked chicken chalupa and now they have a spicy version. Well, woohoo. I already reviewed the regular version, you know. Burger King has a sourdough Big King burger instead of the burger on the regular bun. Woohoo. There hasn't been anything really interesting or significant new in the realm of fast food in a while. And it just seems like a lot of the shit they put out now is just rehashing of crap anyway. And there's no reason to really go crazy over it. I'll give you a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. Kat and I really just needed to grab something quick. We were in a situation where we were very busy and time was of the essence and we needed just to eat something quick. So we went to a McDonald's, which I almost never do, okay? I said, oh yeah, the McDonald's now has new quarter pounders that are supposed to be fresh beef, much like the burgers at Wendy's. All right, let's get them. We got them and we ate it and we're like, it tastes the same. Yeah, it felt a little bit different. Like the burger itself just had a different consistency. It wasn't super dense and dry like a normal quarter pounder was, but the flavor was exactly the same. It wasn't any better. And I was like, now imagine if I had hyped this up for DSP Tries It, I do it and it's the same fucking burger as before. See what I mean? I just didn't care about it anymore. It got to the point where the series is just so dumb. So there you go, guys. That's the deal. DSP Tries It. I'm not planning on doing it anytime soon. And it's that simple. Fair enough. Okay. Shout out to Genetic Gamer, who cheered. He says, I was a fan of Project 7, wondering if there's any merch left. No, there's no merch. I'm not selling anything. Project 7 is dead. Will never come back. And it's something from way in the past, 2012. I mean, holy shit, 6 years ago. I think it's time to leave the past in the past, my friends. It's kind of like I actually said yesterday. Yesterday, someone was bringing up co-op with John Rambo and Howard. Are you ever going to do it again? I was like, are you out of your minds? Like, of course not. I only did co-op with John Rambo and Howard for about 3 years. It was the years of around 2011. It was actually, I take that back, late 2010 when I lost my job until basically the time that I moved. So about 3.5 years I did co-op with those guys, okay? I've now lived in Washington State and not done co-op with them for over 4 years. So actually there's been more time away from doing co-op with them than there has been doing co-op with them, but people still bring it up. It's like, sometimes you got to move on, guys. You know, the past is the past, and the present is still pretty good. So let's enjoy what's going on right now, all right? Okay, shout out to Knows Nobody, who did a 100-bit cheer and said, Phil, do you plan to revisit Red Dead Redemption before 2 comes out? I already did. First of all, let me get Knows Nobody up on the leaderboard, because you deserve it. You're the top cheerer with 100 bits, so let's get you up there. It was actually last summer. In fact, it was last summer, right around this time. It was July when I played Red Dead Redemption again. I played it on Xbox One, backwards compatible. It was great. The graphics looked good. And boy, did the game hold up. I have to say, you know, even being a game that came out, what, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, it held up good. It was still a fun, entertaining game. And I even did the Undead Nightmare DLC for it, which I still owned, okay? So if you want to see that, head over to DSPGaming. The whole playthrough is live on DSPGaming. You can check it out, all right? But that was last year, so no, I'm certainly not going to play it again now right before Red Dead Redemption 2, okay? All right. Shout out to my mom. No, not my mother. The guy's name is actually my mom. And he says the following. He cheered. He says the following. When you got top 4 in EVO, was there a top 8 onstage presentation and chanting of USA, USA when you play a top 8 match against Japanese players like EVO nowadays? I felt your effort and skill during that EVO was underappreciated by top US players and the FGC. Listen, back then it was so different. Back then, okay, there was so much heated rivalry and so much, what's the word? Almost like, not hate, but like tension back in the day. There really was a lot of tension, okay? In particular, when you went to EVO, even though there was people from all around the world there, primarily the attendees were from the West Coast. California, Nevada, Washington, Seattle, Oregon, and although basically West Coast states primarily were the main attendees. Yes, like I said, you would get maybe 50 to 100 people who were coming from other parts of the country and internationally. But EVO was, first of all, what you got to realize, EVO back then was so much smaller than it is today. Today, it's like thousands of people. Back then, it was like maybe 1,000 if you were lucky. Okay? And like I said, primarily, mostly local attendees. So if you weren't from the West Coast, you were an underdog. You know? Unless you were, like, known as the top guy. Like, for example, a Justin Wong. Or, at one point, an Eddie Lee. You know, those kind of East Coast top players were always respected. But outside of that, if you were from the East Coast, you were an underdog. Okay? So when I went out there to try to play at EVO at a high level, I didn't have much support at all. Almost none, okay? I mean, it was to the point where, you know, you're kind of on your own. Now, I actually was very friendly with a group of players from Maryland, and I hung out with them, including Isaac Graham and the like, his other fellow players, Tyrannid Man and a few other people who I hung out with at the time. And it was a lot of fun hanging out with those guys and, you know, playing the games and everything. But no, it wasn't like, oh, you're playing, and now all of a sudden the crowd's like, USA! No one cared. It wasn't even like that. It was like, oh, wow. It's Darkside Phil, who, you know, he's some guy from the East Coast. He's an underdog. We don't really care about him because he's not West Coast. And that was kind of the attitude of everyone, was that that particular year for Super Turbo, the top placers were all considered new blood. I mean, it was NKI, okay, another young guy like me, who was known in the community for an up-and-comer in Super Turbo, and me. We were the 2 top American placers that year for Super Turbo, and the other guy was a Honda player, and a guy who, another guy who was not well known, and the three top Americans placing in the top 8 are not known players for being top Super Turbo players. So everyone was like, this is an atrocity and blah, blah, blah. And none of us were like major West Coast players either. That was the other thing. You know, it would have been one thing if we were known West Coast players. We weren't. So really, that year, there was no big hype for Super Turbo presentation. And by the way, back then, you had your finals, and your top 2 guys would shake hands. That's the end. Get off the stage. You're going on to the next game. It wasn't like today where there's streaming and hype. No one even recorded it. No one was even recording or anything back then. Like, there was none of the hype that you get in the modern era existed back then. Because back then, I hate to say it, it was for the love of the game. When you went to EVO, you were going mostly because you loved Street Fighter. You wanted to play a variety of competition that you couldn't get because these games were not played online at a consistent level. There weren't really wide accepted versions of these games on consoles that had online play that was considered acceptable. And so if you really wanted to get good at these games, you had to go to physical tournaments. And people went out and spent tons of money and time and effort to go to these tournaments and play people from all around the world because they loved the game. It wasn't because, oh, I'm going to get popular on stream and the stream monsters are going to love me. And then when I go home, I'm going to get popularity from this event and I'm going to stream myself and make thousands of dollars on stream and I'm going to get sponsorships and bring... None of that existed. None of that. Okay? It was a very, very, very different situation. You went there because you loved the game and you just wanted to compete at a high level and maybe meet some cool people. And that's what it was all about. You didn't care about the recognition. It's kind of funny because if you remember when you beat Street Fighter 2 with Ryu, at the end there's an awards presentation. But they say, but where is the champion? Where is Ryu? He didn't show up. And then they show him walking away. And it says, for Ryu, he's already on to the next fight because the fight is everything. That's kind of how it was back then. You weren't playing Street Fighter for recognition. You weren't playing it for money. The tournament, even if you won a tournament, you wouldn't win much money at all. You probably wouldn't even win enough money to cover the cost of your trip to come out to the tournament. It was for the love of the fight, the love of competition. That's what it was back then. It's very, very different now, okay? So no, nothing like today at all, okay? All right. For some reason, there's people insulting me in the stream chat, so now you're all going to get banned. I don't know what's going on. I literally did not look at the stream chat, that entire answer, or that question. I looked down, and there's people insulting me. Okay, well, bye. Like, what the hell? How ridiculous. Well, whatever. Bye-bye. Okay. Shout out to DJ Luna Eclipse. DJ Luna Eclipse. Oh, hold on. People are now saying, oh, he wasn't talking about Phil. Alright, well, whatever. There, I unbanned him. Because he looked like he was insulting me. Alright, he's unbanned. Alright, shout out to DJ Luna Eclipse, who just tipped $10 and said, Phil, best of luck. Kick some ass today. And thanks for 10 years of awesome content. All right, thank you, DJ Luna Eclipse. I appreciate that tip. Thank you very much. Let me update the leaderboard with you because you are the top tipper for today. So let's get you up there. There we go. Get that centered here. All right, so as you can see already, we got top cheerer Knows Nobody and top tipper DJ Luna Eclipse up on the leaderboard for today. All right. Continuing on, PS Geek did a 101-bit cheer. That actually is going to put PS Geek into the top tier position. So let's actually get you up there, PS Geek. Shit. I screwed up. Hold on. I misselected. $101 bits. There we go. And top tip, too, is not spaced properly here. There we go. Okay. So, PS Geek did a 101-bit cheer. Excuse me. And said the following. Let's see here. He says, DSP, you came a long way to be where you are now. I applaud you for sticking to your guns and remaining the same funny and hilarious guy we all know. Keep it up and have a good weekend. Thank you, PS Geek. Appreciate that 101-bit cheer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Deluxe Swine did a 100-bit cheer. He says, frankly, Phil, I agree with Save the Pig the game. I miss seeing you in a casual hangout out setting, shooting the shit over food. Games are great, but we need the non-gaming side of Phil, too. No. It's, as I said earlier this year, sadly, guys, it came to a point in my life where because I was sharing so much that it became toxic. This sad group of people, these sad humans, who sadly don't have anything going on in their own lives, have to make their whole life about me. They restream my content illegally because when they do their own original content, no one cares or watches because they're not interesting people. You know, all they can do is make fun of people. It's the only thing that anyone would ever watch them do because they have no talent of their own. They make compilation videos on YouTube that are negative. They take little snippets of information that I put out there on the internet about myself based off of things like DSP Tries It, me doing a tour of my house in a vlog, me going on maybe a small trip or vacation and doing a couple vlog videos there. They take all that and they turn it into disgusting, nasty shit. All right? And it comes to the point where I can't put up with it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do it. And I already talked about this earlier this year, and I'll say it again. I have to limit the amount of myself that I share with my audience. Because when you share everything, people can use that shit against you constantly. Constantly, you know? And I can't have that. I can't. You know, just in reality is that I need to have a personal life, which I really, for a very long time, I don't feel like I had. I felt like everything that I did was shared. And, you know, now I'm with Kat and we have our own personal life together, things that we like doing together. And I don't want that to become a thing that's aired out to the public constantly, you know? Like I said, already I don't really get enough time with Kat. I don't think I do. I wish I had more time with her. Now, all of a sudden, I need to film every week at least one meal. Screw it. It ain't worth it. It's just not. So I totally understand, especially those of you who may be longtime viewers and fans of mine. And you say, man, you know, Phil used to share almost everything. And in the last year, things have really significantly changed. It sucks we don't get so much of Phil anymore. I get that, but it was needed to be done for my own well-being, my own safety in a lot of ways, because people were getting into my personal shit to the point where they were really trying to fuck with me on a personal level. I mean, at one point, I mean, this is the truth. Okay? People were getting into, they were trying to hack all my different accounts. Okay? They were finding out, based on things that I never even really explained, where I lived, what companies I have my stuff through. They were trying to contact companies and cancel all my accounts pretending to be me. There was one day that they were going to turn off my electricity. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I got a notice, oh, all your utilities are going to turn off today. What? I called the company. I'm like, I didn't do that. And they're like, oh, shit, really? Well, someone had called and said that they were you. And I'm like, yeah. This shit is so ridiculous how bad it got, okay? So, I cannot, the less information you guys know about me, the better. All right? It's that simple. Now, what I choose to share with you is great, and there's a lot of things that I do choose to share with you. But in particular, you know, got to keep it on the DL on a lot of stuff. All right? So, no, I'm not going to go crazy and share everything with you. I'm just not. Okay. Baby Jim Bob cheer. He says, between this and The Simpsons, looks like the Rageathon will be starting early. Well, I don't know about The Simpsons because I never played it. I don't know anything about that game. Okay? But, in particular with this event, I get the feeling some of these games won't be so hard and I will coast through them. And then some are going to be ridiculous. In particular, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo is probably going to destroy me for over an hour. Like, real talk, I know how bad that game is on normal difficulty. On the hardest difficulty, hoo boy. This is going to be pretty challenging. Okay? So there you go, my friends. There you go. Thank you very much. Super Wombat Man asked an interesting question. I'll just address it very briefly. He says, if you don't want to say the CPM for some reason, is the money on videos on YouTube somewhat constant? Nope. It's not at all. Ad revenue today is insanely fluctuating. Okay? I'll give you an example. So you guys remember I covered E3, right? I covered E3. And when I covered E3, I did a series of videos covering each major press conference. Now, roughly each video was the same length, about 30 minutes long, where I summarized all the content of each press conference, and I had a little bit of my commentary and reactions to everything. So they were all pretty much the same, all right? One video made a lot of money on ad revenue. Another video, which was for a similar press conference, I'll tell you, it was Microsoft and Sony. So you would think Microsoft and Sony press conferences would probably get around the same amount of attention, right? They had this almost the same amount of views on them, almost identical viewership. The ad revenue for one was more than twice as much as the other. Okay? It makes no sense. It's all dependent on YouTube's algorithm bullshit. It'll find something in a video and say, oh, this video gets the good ads, this video doesn't. And it'll just divvy out ads in such a random, haphazard fucking way. Sometimes, and this is the truth too, sometimes in a playthrough, one particular part for no reason will make me a ton of money and another part will make me none. Recently, what I've been noticing is that part 1 of my playthroughs on DSPGaming have been making less money than they used to, because part 1 used to be the big part. The first part of a playthrough is the one everyone watches and it gets the most views. They haven't been making me much money, but then all of a sudden a random part later on in the playthrough will make a ton of money for no reason. And I noticed that in Detroit Become Human, it was like part 23 or something. For some reason, apparently got great ads for no reason, and just boom, that video made me a ton of money, while the rest of the playthrough made me way less. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And the CPM on YouTube is just ridiculously stupid. It used to be better for me because I used to be on a flat rate. So when I was on a flat rate, okay, I knew based on my viewership what I was going to make every month. I knew every single month the money I was going to bring in. Now, one month I could do great on views and I make no money. The next month I do shitty on views and I make a ton. This actually happened this year in January. My views and my engagement were sky high in January of 2018. My ad revenue was the lowest it had ever been, just because YouTube didn't have advertisements. So their CPM is all over the charts. It's never consistent, and that's basically the problem with trying to make a living just on YouTube, okay? No, Mishing Mall Echo says, well, were the views on part 1 and part 30 the same? No. In that particular playthrough of Detroit Become Human, part 1 has the most views. What is it, right between 5,000-10,000 views, let's say, just estimating. I have no idea how many it actually is. And then that part, like, 23 had, like, 1,000, 2,000 views. Yet part 23 made more money than part 1. Figure that out. And that's YouTube. That's their automated system doesn't work. Their automated system is shit. Their algorithms are crap. Okay. Shout out to Random Ghost, who tipped me $1. He says, it makes me sad. You know, a few things. He's basically saying Project 7, KO Gaming, DSP Tries It, all kind of being retired. And he says, all because of trolls, or because, you know, now there's no way to really make monetary gain from these things anymore. Can't you do it for fun? For the people who'd watch for fun. Why does it come to money? Because Random Ghost, we live on planet Earth in a realm called reality. We don't live in an alternate dimension where I don't have bills to pay and I don't have to worry about financial responsibility. I'm a 36-year-old adult who has to worry about the reality of life. I can't just sit here and throw up my arms and say, oh, well, I just won't pay my bills today because I want to do stuff for fun. That's not how life works, Random Ghost. And I've already told you this before. Sadly, that's just it, you know. I do this for a living, and I love doing it. I love doing my hobby as a job, but when you do something for a job, you have to make intelligent decisions in order to stay afloat. And for me, I can't continue to do things that aren't going to make sense. No, I cannot make highly edited, stylized, professional-style reviews on KO Gaming when every time I upload a video to KO Gaming, it's demonetized because YouTube blacklisted the channel. No, I can't keep doing DSP Tries It when the money that the video makes doesn't even cover the item I'm reviewing. It's that simple. You know? I do plenty of things for fun. So what I need to do is I need to choose the things that I can do for fun that will also be profitable so I could keep doing things and having fun. Or else this whole thing ends. If I just do whatever I want willy-nilly and I don't care about money, guess what? This all goes away. No more streams, no more YouTube. It all just dies out because that's reality. And I don't want that to happen. I'm pretty sure those of you who are fans of mine don't want that to happen either, right? Okay. Shout out to Jenkins Jinkies, who subscribed to the channel for the 6th month in a row. Thank you, Jenkins Jinkies, for the resub. I do appreciate that very much. Okay. All right, guys. Actually, we went up a couple subs here on the pre-stream, so I will update that. Again, I want to say thank you to the current top cheerer, PS Geek, 101 bits. Not hard to top, so that's an easy one. And thank you to DJ Luna Eclipse for the $10 tip. Last but not least, my friends, let us give credit to the top 10 cheerers for the week, and then we're going to get started, okay? So, special thank you to the top 10 cheer contributors for the week here on the channel. In 10th place, we've got Shao Kahn Artist. In 9th place, it's PS Geek. And in fact, I believe it was the cheer that he did today that actually got him into the top 10, so congrats. At number 8, Zacho. We got a tie for 7th place between Infinite 55 and Derfuzalador. And then, if you can believe it, in 5th place, beating them by 1 single bit, is Flippin' Trees. In 4th place, we've got Boba Feets 101. In 3rd place, Ostmink. In 2nd place, Octoa. And, of course, sitting there firmly at first for this week, the Lord Lamb V3. So, thank you guys very much for all of your contributions this week. Before we start, I'd like to say thank you, everyone, for your support. Thanks for a good pre-stream. Looking forward to this marathon. Let's see how this goes. I don't know. What I'm hoping is I can beat like World Warrior Champion Edition and Hyper Fighting pretty quickly. Because then when I get to Super, I get the feeling that's when it's going to get tough. So I'm hoping I can beat them within like an hour to an hour and a half, and then get right into the tough stuff. And you know, Super Turbo is going to definitely take a while to get through, if I even beat it. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much. I guess that's it. Let us take the time now. We'll end the pre-stream. Let's end the pre-stream, and let us begin with the stream. All right. It's time, my friends. It's time. The Master Run Challenge. Let's begin. All right. Ending pre-stream, and we will get the show on the road.